society, it drills into your head when you grow up that you should like the opposite sex.
My friendships with my friends that were girls were different. Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a 17-year-old lesbian from the United States. I know I was gay. I understood when I was around 16, summer into sophomore year. I kind of thought of it as a possibility.
Hi, I'm Lorna. I'm from Florida in the United States, and this is my submission for the Out and About documentary. When did you realize you were gay? Well, I always knew I had feelings for girls since 7th grade, which was when I was about 12. And I mean, I didn't really do anything about it. I just kind of pushed it away in my mind.
And towards the fall of my sophomore year, I started to realize that my friendships with my friends that were girls were different than others. I'm not saying that straight girls can't care about their friends, but it was different.
Last year, 2013, in like March-ish, 2013, I said, okay, girls, and I just kind of identified myself as bisexual, but I was not. This school year, which was in October and September and October of 2013, I dated a boy. Just didn't feel anything. When I date a guy, it's like, okay, I'm dating someone. But when I'm dating girls, it's like, okay, I'm dating someone that I really like.
I was more attached to them and I cared more, I guess.
Hi, I'm Alice. I'm 15. I'm English, but I live in New Jersey, and I'm gay. Did you realize you were gay? How old are you? How did you feel? I honestly, for about 14 and a half years, I just assumed that I was straight. I never really thought about my sexuality. It was just sort of a given in my mind that I was straight. And then about February of last year, there were these presentations at my school about, one of them was about hiding behind masks. The second one was a response to that by the GSA about, why it's okay to be gay, and there were a few people who sort of came out in this presentation. That got the ball rolling for me, because suddenly what they were describing as, the way they felt towards people of the same sex, things like that, I realised that I felt the same way about women. It wasn't just them. And it really confused me, because I had been certain that I was straight, and then suddenly that was just out the window. I had no idea what to feel. This was complete alien territory for me. I mean, I always, when I was straight, I identified as an ally. I was very pro-gay rights, but I realised that it's completely different when suddenly it's your rights in question. And, there was definitely denial at first. It wasn't even until May that I was really able to say, I'm gay.
Hi there, my name is Kris. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota in the United States. I realized that I at least was not straight about a little over a year ago when I was 20 or 21, and I was working at a Target, which is kind of a dull, non-mentally stimulating work, so I did a lot of thinking when I was there. And at one point, when I was single, I thought to myself, I would like a girlfriend. It was weird, because I had identified as straight up until that point. It wasn't, concerning to me. It wasn't, a bad thing. But it was definitely strange, because it was something I hadn't thought of before. In my, childhood or younger years, I now, at least reflectively, have started to see points where I was like, oh yeah, that was definitely a crush that you had that was on a girl. Even especially I guess in middle school and like high school, like I meet a girl and be like, oh, she's so great, like nice and everything and all this stuff. But I wouldn't call it a crush because one, I thought I was straight, and two, because it wasn't there were no sexual feelings at all, which I thought, because of what I was seeing around me, that was a necessary part of a crush, to be like, oh yeah, I would like do that, whatever. And now I identify as biromantic demisexual, or biromantic gray sexual, and that was part of the, I guess, process of finding out what I call myself, was realizing that I'm not sexually attracted to people like other people are. And that was probably one of the reasons that I didn't realize that I liked girls for a really long time.
Okay. Hi guys, my name's Kris. I'm 15. I'm from Hawaii and I identify as a lesbian. Today I will be doing the interview questions for the Out and About documentary. Did you realize you were what you identify as? How old were you? And how did you feel? As long as I could remember, I've always liked girls, but I didn't know that there was a label. There was a label for people who like the same sex till I was about 10 years old. And you know, once I knew, I found out that people who like the same sex were perceived different. They weren't considered what people considered like normal. During the time, the community I was living in, they saw to it as something negative and something abnormal and something bad. How did you feel when I found out that being gay was bad and that all these people had like a bad perspective about gay people? I thought that if someone were to like find out I liked girls and I was like these people, I thought I wouldn't have any friends anymore, basically, because like I found out when I was 10 and all I thought about was like having friends and not wanting to be alone during recess or lunch or whatever.
At a young age, I've kind of always been attracted to girls. There was never a time when I saw a boy and I was like attracted to them in any way. I always saw them as friends. At a young age, I've always been attracted to girls. I've never looked at a guy and been attracted to them. I've never had that sort of feeling. For me, growing up, I've always liked girls. So I don't know what it was that made me like girls. I was always kind of like a tomboy when I was younger. I don't believe anyone chooses what their sexuality is. I don't believe that it's a choice. I think you're just, I guess you can say you're just born with it. There's been a time where I liked guys. I've never looked at a guy and thought and be like sexually attracted to them, like I want to have a relationship with them. But I've always had the feeling, I've always looked at a girl who I think is attractive and I'd want to have a relationship with them. This has always happened now for as long as I can remember. I've never liked a guy the way that I like a girl.
Hi, so my name is Katie and I identify as a gay woman. I'm actually from Ohio, and that's a Midwestern state in the United States of America. There's a lot of interview questions and I will give them to you. So, did you realize you were gay? How old were you and how did you feel? I feel like there's so much background I have to give to this, and that's vital to understanding my coming out story and my coming out process and my ability to come to terms with my sexuality, is that I was raised in a fairly religious home and a fairly conservative home. I was born into a Roman Catholic family. I was baptized, I received my first communion, and I was also confirmed in the church, so I am technically an adult member of the Catholic Church, even though I no longer identify as Catholic. I was raised very religious, and I was raised Catholic in a Catholic home where, you know, being gay and being anything along the LGBTQA, however many letters you want to put in there, spectrum was frowned upon, and it was considered a sin. And I have had several people come up to me and say, well, you know, it's not homosexuality that's a sin, it's acting on it. But the truth is that for somebody who's gay, or bisexual or whatever. There is no difference between the act and being. There's no difference. My affection towards people of the same sex, my love towards women that I have fallen in love with is inseparable from my identity. Honestly, that teaching doesn't really make a difference, because I still grew up very much feeling that being gay was wrong and being bisexual was wrong, or being anything along the spectrum was wrong.
My name's Abby, from London, and I'm a lesbian.
My name's Abby, I'm from London and I'm a lesbian. I first figured out I was gay when I was 14. I think I always subconsciously knew. I mean, looking back on it, a lot of stuff makes sense. Why I had this obsession with Lizzie McGuire, or why I constantly played different games to what all my other friends did and all that sort of stuff. Kind of all adds up, and I look back and yeah, that's why I behaved like that. I realised when I was watching, it was cliche, when I was watching Glee, I kept repeating those Santana and Britney scenes. I thought, why am I watching this? What is this? Why am I so interested in them making out? And then it suddenly hit me, and if I'm honest, I cried. I didn't want to be gay. It took me about a year to accept it and actually come to terms with it, I guess.
It didn't have much of an impact on me, because I didn't think it was wrong, or there was something different about me. I didn't talk to anyone and ask them, oh, do you like girls, do you like guys? But it was just, I just kept it inside, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. As I grew older, I found out what being gay meant and what being a lesbian meant, and this was around 12, I think. It didn't have much of an impact on me. I didn't think, it just went over my head. It didn't apply to me. At that time, I didn't even think of it thoroughly applying to me.
How did you come out to others, and when?
The first person I came out to was my sister. She was at college and we were walking back to her dorm. And I stopped her because she had asked me, like, hey, what's up? Like, are you okay? I told her, I feel like there's something I need to tell you, but I'm scared. And she's like, okay, well, go for it. And I told her, and she was very accepting. And she asked me, like, are you sure? How long have I known? And I gave her as many answers as I could. And then after that, I came out to my friend Emily. She in a car ride to her house. And then that was the last person until my parents, was all the way in January instead of around October. So January 31st came around, 2014, and I was just ready. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was just too much for me. Like, I was depressed. I wasn't talking to anyone. I just needed to get it off my chest. I was getting anxious and very OCD because of it, because they are linked with anxiety. I was just like, you know what, I'm doing it today. I'm doing it. So I walked into my mom's work, because she's a teacher and I need to pick up my little sister, and when I came back, I told my mom I was leaving, walked out the door, screamed, by the way, you're right, I'm gay, and ran out and told my little sister in the car. She was very accepting, and it was really cool, because she told me about that one child show, Good Luck Charlie, that had the gay moms in it. And she was like, there was this one girl in Good Luck Charlie that had 2 moms. It's okay. And which I wanted to cry.
And then, so it took me about a year to actually come out to people. I told my best friend first at Jessie J concert. She was too hot not to say something. Another time, quite a good story, when I told my other best friend, I sat her down and said, I don't want you to look at me differently, I don't want you to treat me differently, but I have something to tell you. You know, don't judge me for it. She goes, okay, it's fine. I'll listen. What's up? I love you, whatever. I said, I'm pregnant. She said, what? What the fuck? Are you serious? I said, no, I'm joking, I'm gay. So it kind of softened the blow, and it's quite a good story, actually.
It started with coming out to my closest friends. I just said, you know, I could be gay, and they said, I'm okay with that. You know, most of them didn't care. Some of them did, and did not want to talk to me about it. They didn't want to associate with me anymore. Fearing, I don't know, that I would have a huge lesbian crush on them.
The first person I came out to was my friend Maggie. I came out to her in May, so about 3 months after I'd really started questioning myself. And it was a really, really big moment for me. But I mean, I didn't do it face to face. Because I could barely say it face to face to myself looking in a mirror. So, but I needed to get it out because I was so miserable. I needed to have someone who knew what I was going through. So I said over Skype. You know, we were messaging over Skype at probably about 11 o'clock at night. She had told me about some stuff she was going through, and then she said, "Is there anything you want to tell me?" And I bit the bullet and I said, "Yeah, I think I might be gay." And it was a really, really nice thing coming out to her because she immediately said, "It's okay, you know, I'm here for you, you know I'm here for you. If anyone's mean to you, I will drive to their house, slap them into next year." That's basically exactly what she said, and I knew she would be supportive. It's just sort of, you worry about how it's going to change a friendship. I mean, right after I sent that message, I was like, if I slammed my laptop shut and never talked to her again, everything would be fine.
First person I ever told was during my birthday party. One of my birthday party, I think I just turned 12 years old. I remember it being the 8th grade, and right now I'm an up-and-coming 11th grader, junior in high school. So it wasn't really that long ago, but the first person I told was the person that I would consider my best friend. So obviously I told her because she's my best friend. And at first I told her that I was bisexual because I didn't want to like scare her away or whatever. And then I came out to my friends a couple months after. I came out to my family, and I came out to them, I would say it was just last year that I came out to my family. I came out to my family when I was a freshman, so kinda technically last year. I was a freshman in high school.
Up until then I was saying I'm not straight in my mind, but I could not say the word gay to myself.
Said, could I be gay? Could I? No, I could not be gay. Me? No.
Did you go through the panic denial stage? Yeah, had that for about 3 months. I didn't want to identify as gay because gay is so different, you know, I was worried about how I'd be treated. At first I was like, I'm not straight. I could say that was about it. And then I kind of hoped that I could try and pass myself off in my mind as bisexual, because in my mind I was seeing it as, at least then I'm still into guys, and that's better than not being into them at all, right?
When I found out I was gay, I found out that some people weren't, like I said a while ago, people weren't okay with it, and obviously I panicked because all these people were the people that I considered I like cared and loved them and all that, and I was like used to them. They were my family, or like my family, I mean. I panicked because like if someone were to find out that I liked girls, during the time I treated the fact that I like girls as like my deepest, darkest secret. So I thought that if someone found out that people would stop trying to be my friend, or that like my parents would ship me off to some camp to get me fixed, because that's what I heard that parents did to their gay kids during the time.
Panic or denial?
I went through a lot of panic, and I went through a lot of denial. From when I was 12 to 13 or 14, I knew that I had these attractions, but I wanted to believe that they were a phase. I wanted to believe that, oh, you know, everyone feels this way at some point, and it's no big deal. It's nothing. I'll start feeling stuff for men. So something I did was I tried really, really hard to put on this mask that I was really attracted to men, and I really liked men. My friends would be talking about actors they thought were sexy, and I would say, you know, I would act like I was really into these men. Like, okay, say Justin Timberlake. I don't know that I actually said this about Justin Timberlake, but people found Justin Timberlake attractive, so I was like, yeah, he's sexy.
A lot of people saw me as straight and knew me that way, and so I felt kind of like I was like I would have been lying to them, considering they had known me for so long and they didn't know this about me. They wouldn't believe it, because I definitely don't think I came across as anything straight to them, especially friends I'd had for a long time. Like I lived with a friend that when I was 5 in kindergarten, and coming out to her was very hard for me because I didn't want her to say, oh, like, no you're not, like I've known you so long, and that can't be true.
I did have a panic stage and a denial stage. When I first found out in June, I thought to myself, impossible, it can't happen to me. I'm normal, that won't happen. And then once I started to come out to people, right before, I started getting very, very nervous. I didn't think I could. I thought I was going to be kicked out of my house and all this horrible stuff that I've heard about. There's also no attraction other than physical to guys. I just thought of them as a handsome or pretty face, not really anything more.
This also ties into how did I feel. When I actually thought, am I gay? In my mind, I was like, oh my god, this is something that I actually have to think about. So that was the beginning of all the thoughts, and through the whole time I was trying to figure it out, I was basically denying it and panicking because I was thinking, what if I am gay? If everyone finds out, it ruins my life, you know? But, you know, once I actually said it in my mind, I am gay, I feel like all the denial just, the denial was making me feel worse about myself because I had already had depression problems. And
my friends talk about how they have feelings towards a guy and how they feel like they're physically attracted to them, sexually attracted to them, and that's how I would feel, but towards a girl.
Denial and the panicking was not making anything better, and I just said, no, I need to figure this out. So I thought about it, and for months, oh my gosh, I thought about it for months. So I finally said, I am gay, and everything went away.
I definitely had the denial stage. I had sort of a 2-month span where I cried myself to sleep every single night because I'd just go to bed, I'd be thinking about it and thinking about it. Suddenly 2 hours later, it's midnight, I'm not even asleep, and I was just crying. It was hard.
I guess I didn't have any panic because of it. I had a decent amount of denial. Even when I was like, oh yeah, that's a crush, but I wouldn't be like, it's a real, legitimate thing in high school, because I don't know, just because I didn't think that was what a crush was, considering all the things that, my friends thought of when they said they had a crush on a person, and all this stuff. So there was denial, and then there was a little bit more panic about coming out to people more than coming out to myself.
When I was younger, I never really thought about it, and until I was about 14, and then I started to look into it, but not as thoroughly as I did when I was 16. Just see if it applied to me, if being a lesbian applied to me, because I was confused that I was feeling this way towards girls but not towards boys. I kind of felt like the outcast of my group, since they were attracted to boys and I wasn't, and I was attracted to the same gender. When I was about 16, at the start of this year, I was really confused and I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say, if I needed to tell anyone, if people were going to accept me. So then I went online, as you do, and I looked up a lesbian couple Tumblrs, and I found Caitlin and Lucy from Luceland, and they really helped me with figuring out who I was, and it was a struggle because I didn't have anyone there. I didn't speak to anybody about it because I felt anxious whether or not they were going to accept me, whether or not they'd tell anyone, because this isn't something that I wanted to be broadcasted wide into all of my friends.
I spent about 8 years from when I was 12 to 20 basically pretending to be something I wasn't, and trying to be something I wasn't, and compromising about what I wanted out of a relationship and what I wanted out of life, because I wanted a normal life, and I didn't feel like I could have it with a woman. Just genuinely felt that if I couldn't make it work with a man, I would never find love.
I did panic. There was a lot of denial, to the point where I slept with boys, I did stuff with boys. But it's weird, I think growing up it was quite cool to kiss girls. if you know what I mean. It was always quite, oh yeah, I slept with this boy but kissed that girl, look at me, I'm such a rebel. I told people that I had, but as a showy-offy thing, it was never really, I like girls, until obviously I realised.
I was very devoutly religious. I was a devout Catholic. I believed in my church with all my heart back then, and I felt that the emotions I was feeling were wrong. Buried myself deeper into religion, and the result of that was that I ended up having a complete spiritual crisis, a complete crisis of faith. I quickly started going on this journey that was simultaneously about my faith and about coming to terms with my sexuality. It wasn't until I was 14 that I probably began accepting that maybe I wasn't 100% straight. It took me a long time to really come to terms with who I was. Like I said, I was raised in a religious home. I went to Catholic schools from when I was 5 years old to when I was 18, to Catholic schools for 13 years, and I had very few resources other than the internet and maybe 2 or 3 teachers. It took me 8 years to really accept, no, you're gay. You're 100% gay. So I had been out for several years to just a few people, and coming out, what's interesting is people act like coming out is this thing you do once and then it's done. And the truth is that you're constantly coming out. It's a lifelong process. There is not really a single moment where you're just out and then it's over with and it's done. It's something that you have to do over and over again every time you get a new job, or you move, or you go to a new city for school, or you meet a new friend. You have to constantly be coming out. And DOMA was overturned. That was really a huge landmark decision in my life, and that was by my government, and that was a big deal for me, because I think part of the reason I had so much trouble accepting the fact that I was gay is that my government wasn't behind me, and I was not considered a whole person by my government.
Do you think there's a large level of equality now, or are there still steps forward that need to be taken?
Definitely a large level of equality, I think especially in our generation, not necessarily the older generations that are still alive, but, in our generation we're way more likely to say, that's cool that you're gay, you know what, and thank you for coming out to me. I think one of the big steps that still needs to be taken is the fact that you go through a denial stage. I think the only reason that denial stage happens is because people are so ashamed to be not straight. I think that denial stage comes from society, constantly saying in the past that homosexuality is a sin, that being different's bad, you're never going to be accepted, oh, you're gay, can't get married in these countries, could get put to death in these countries, could be sent to jail in these countries. Why are you criticising something that I've struggled with, something that now I've realised actually makes me happy?
There is a certain level of rights we have, but there are so many steps that could be taken forward. They're just not happening for some reason. I was old enough. I couldn't marry a woman in my state. What is so bad about someone liking the same gender? I just don't understand, what are we gonna do when we get married? What are we gonna do? In other countries, the whole, country is supporting gay rights. Human rights, not even gay rights, or, it's just human rights. We shouldn't have to fight to get married. What are we gonna do that's so wrong when we get married?
As a global population, we still have a very long way to go, and even in the United States, there's still a long way to go. Yes, we struck down the Defense of Marriage Act, and that was an amazing victory. Yes, many of the states have struck down their constitutional bans, and we are making a lot of headway on the marriage issue. But transgender soldiers still can't serve in the military. Transgender people still don't get adequate medical care. You can still be denied housing for being LGBT. In Ohio, I could still be fired for being gay.
There's more equality now compared to how life was like 10 years ago for anybody who identified with LGBTQ. Then again, I also do believe that there still needs to be like more steps taken in order for everyone to be equal.
I think equality is getting a lot better. I mean, total respect to those hard old school LGBT people who've helped make this step. I think two months ago, finally the first gay marriage happened in Britain, and that was really something.
Even with demisexuality, especially online with like online dating and stuff, there are people who say, yeah, good luck with that, or yeah, sure, that's not a real thing, or I don't get what that means.
We have a lot of gay prides around the world now, and yeah, I think a lot of people are beginning to come to terms that homosexuality is real, and that nothing's going to stop it because it's not a choice and it's not a thing that you can stop. I mean, I'm gay and I'm not going to change for anyone.
You're gonna go through your whole life struggling with different types of things, and you're gonna get past it every single time.
We'll all be okay. Don't worry about it. It'll get better. I'm there for anyone who needs it.
It may not look better now or tomorrow or maybe even the next day after that, but things really do get better. Like, it doesn't have to be tomorrow or today or right now. Things will get better, I promise, okay? I try not to make promises, but they do get better.
Don't lie to yourself, please. Oh my god, please, don't lie to yourself. No matter how much it hurts to think about this, no matter how much it hurts when people say things to you, do not lie to yourself. I went from since I was 12 years old to 16 lying to myself to make sure everyone around me was okay and no one would freak out. It shouldn't freak anyone out that I'm gay.
There is hope beyond the closet. There is a life beyond the closet, and there is a good life beyond the closet. And obviously, you should take your coming out journey as is comfortable to you, because no one's journey is the same, and it's not safe for everyone to come out of the closet. But even if there's no one in your life that you can talk to, there's the internet, and thank God for the internet, because people before our generation didn't have that. LGBT people before our generation did not have the internet to help them.
People who are born with their sexuality, they have a choice to either accept themselves for who they are or to just live with the burden of, am I gay or am I straight?
It doesn't really happen overnight, it happens gradually, but then sort of one day you realise, hey, I'm okay with this now. And from that moment forward, it gets so much better.
There's a lot of pressure already, AS levels, GCSEs, uni, and then there's this added expectation on how you're meant to grow up. So for those struggling, you just got to keep with it.
If you're struggling with finding out who you really are in terms of sexuality, you will get there and you'll find your way. Just let it come to you, because if you force it, then it's just going to be much harder for you to figure out who you are. Just let it come to you and just be calm about it. And if you're having any second thoughts, just wait for it to pan out, because if you try and struggle and fight it, it's just going to get worse.
I think the message I'm trying to get across here is that being gay is not your choice. I did not choose this. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to get across, is that I would never choose to deal with the discrimination that is put with this kind of thing. Also, never feel like you have to label yourself, because that is disgusting. The thought of having to put a label on it is what society puts on you, and if you aren't ready to do that, that is okay. Not ready if you don't feel like you don't know who you are. Millions of teenagers and adults don't know who they are, and that is one of life's biggest struggles, is trying to fit in. Sexuality does not define you. Hi guys, it's really late. It's the 7th of September and it is just gone 8:30 at night, and I have finished editing the Out and About documentary. I want to make this really cringy, thankful message to all of you who contributed in any way to making this happen. I'm still in shock that it did. It was a bit stressful getting this all edited together, and I hope it helped some of you out there. I hope listening to other people's stories made you feel like you're not alone, at least a tiny bit. If it did, let me know in the comments and make me feel like this was all worthwhile. If any of you are struggling, I'm going to put loads and loads of links, helpful links down below to help you and aid you in any way they can. If you are struggling in terms of sexuality and who you are, please do not, if you need some form of help, please don't suffer in silence. There are so many things so many ways you can help yourself, and I am here, and all these people who have contributed to this video are here to talk to you. So thank you for watching this, thank you for listening to me, and I hope this helped you. And I'm sorry for the bad quality. I literally just finished editing this and I wanted to express my happiness. So thank you for watching, and it gets better, I promise you.